Joining us now here on set, Dani, thank you very much from Bloomberg. We love it when you're here.
I love being here.
Yes,
So.
it's a great time sort of to talk about this. We
Absolutely.
had Ed O'Keefe just a short time ago on the Hill talking to us about just how important it is when they take these big votes on the Hill that they wait till the markets close.
Right.
What are you hearing about this healthcare and how it could impact this healthcare legislation, how it could impact if it doesn't go through?
Right. So to be clear, this vote is very important for Wall Street, but it's not about healthcare. As one investor put it to me, Wall Street likes to look in the mirror, and what Wall Street wants right now, what the markets are expecting, is they want that tax reform, they want deregulation. So that's sort of the lens that they're viewing this whole vote. So it's not to say healthcare doesn't pass, that's going to somehow upset the market. The idea is if it's difficult to get healthcare passed, then we're also going to see some difficulty getting those tax reforms through, which, Donald Trump has made more than a year of campaign promises that that's what he's going to do. And investors have taken that to heart and really bid up a lot of assets, assuming that we will get those tax cuts.
So, Dani, when you're looking at his legislative agenda, the markets have really rallied around Trump since he took office. They've done well. Why is it that they've really rallied well around this presidency?
Well, certainly equity investors are a half glass full bunch. It's their job to buy stocks, so they're going to look at it with a lot of optimism. So again, it's really those taxes that they want to see. If you look at companies that have the highest corporate tax rate versus the lowest, immediately after Trump was elected, you saw those high tax companies really rally, really let it. But one thing I want to note is recently there has been a little bit of skepticism injected into the market. Those companies haven't been doing well. Banks, another area that did very well after Trump was elected, idea being that we're going to get deregulation there, some changes to Dodd-Frank that will be healthy for banks. They actually have sunk so far this month. Again, the idea being, look at what's happening with healthcare. If there is a lot of waiting there, if the sausage-making process is proving very difficult for healthcare, then perhaps banks are not going to get that boost as soon as investors were hoping for.
If the healthcare doesn't pass, what sectors of the market do you think would possibly suffer, take the biggest hit?
Right. Well, certainly investors are going to start looking overseas. I've heard this time and time again that if this doesn't pass, then perhaps they'll look at emerging markets, they'll look at European markets, but maybe U.S. equities aren't the place to be. However, it is notable that a lot of people are saying, look, it doesn't matter. If this doesn't pass, regardless, it'll be off the table for Republicans and they can move on to their tax and pro-growth agenda. So there are some people out there saying, look, if this doesn't pass, maybe we'll get a quick reaction off of those headlines, but at the end of the day, people are going to step in, buy the dip, and then turn their focus to taxes.
So if tax reform doesn't go through as well, if the president's legislative agenda is somewhat stalled, how do you think that impacts the economy?
It's going to impact the markets quite a bit. There's no question that the economy is healthy right now. Earnings look very good, so there's certainly a lot in there. But if you look at where stocks need to go, where they're projected to go, and how they're related to earnings, they are pretty much fully priced in. So we're going to get to a really weird point where even if companies produce these really good results, we're going to be beyond that. So you have to imagine that because of the pace and force with which the markets have risen, a lot of that is pricing in Trump's plan, that not even tax reform, but deregulation, infrastructure spending. So most analysts are saying we should get that around late this year, early next year. If those times pass and we don't have it, markets could take quite a hit.
Wow, so much to think about when it comes to the markets.
Absolutely.
Dani Burger from Bloomberg, thank you for joining us, Dani.